Hi, I'm Mike, and welcome to my second video on SEO Mastery, learning how to dominate over competition. So, let's get started. A long time ago, back in the old archive days, when you used to have, now you probably see them in museums now, these yellow tombs known as the yellow pages were used for search, okay? And back then, they actually had a form of search engine optimization. When you search for a plumber, they would put A or AA or AAA, 3 A's in front of the name, and that way it would show up sooner in that category. And that was a form of search engine optimization because they wanted to get seen first, because the higher up they're in the search results, the more likely they're going to be called for whatever service they're trying to promote. And then, of course, search engines came, like Google, MSN, Bing, Ask, Yahoo, all those different search engines came by, and the yellow pages eventually just went away. And the only time now you see these yellow pages are, again, possibly museums, but often underneath the monitors for ergonomic reasons. So what people do now, okay, to be found on the internet, is they create content. Content could be a form of a blog, which is very common, use blogs, videos. It could be, you use Amazon, Facebook pages, Twitter, all those different things, and they all come down to one category called content. So people, what they do is they want to be found on the internet, they create content that can be found that people are going to search for. Again, probably the most common form of content is on blogs. So, content creation. What are we talking about now? Well, we're going to talk about in this rest of this video, we're talking about why create content, what to blog about to get the content to your site, determine your blog niche or focus, where you're going to focus on, determine your customers, or in other words, your avatar, and then talk about how you can become recognized as a leader in your niche, and then how you start building your traffic up. Okay, first of all, let's determine your niche. Choose a niche that feels very comfortable to you. Okay, something you're going to be writing about or want to develop an expertise in. What's your specialty? What's your focus? For instance, if you're into lawn care and lawn maintenance, it'd be your focus. So maybe you're going to have a blog about lawn care, about how to maybe gardening, or it could be anything related to your particular topic that you want to promote. Because you want to do is you want to ideally have, if you have products you want to promote, you'll want to have actually content that's created that's congruent or similar in nature to what you're trying to promote, because that's the kind of audience you're going to attract. You want to have products that matches the content, which is basically attracting your ideal clients. Pick something that people are searching for. Okay, use tools, and we're talking about in future videos, and how to choose keywords and phrases that people are searching for. So that way you can focus on a few main blog keywords people are searching for, so they have a higher chance of finding your blog. Your topic also needs to have something that you want to talk about. For instance, if you're going to choose something on, I don't know, say a very, very narrow target. So for instance, how to feed your yellow goldfish in the afternoon. You're not going to have a whole lot to write about. So you want to open up your niche enough, that way you have content to write about. Now keep in mind, as you start developing your niche and your content you're going to talk about, the actual parameters, the actual focus you're going to do can change over time. So don't be worried about that. Just keep in mind that it's kind of an initial idea that you want to focus on, and then you can adjust and tweak things as you go along. Give me an example. One of the blogs we have is how to build your business using the internet with the law of attraction bias. So we have basically, it's about how to build your business online, how to promote your business online. We also use law of attraction principles and how to use that for the actual part of your blog. So it kind of gives you that flavor. Look for blogs of other successful marketers that you want to model. Okay, model about what's out there. So for instance, if you choose a niche, say on, again, we use the example on lawn care, look out there in the industry and see what other blogs are out there on lawn care that you can borrow ideas from. Now, you don't want to blatantly copy, but it's good to get some ideas. Okay, get an idea of what their focus is and what their niche is, and then you can develop yours accordingly. Now determine your customers. Who is your customer? Who is the avatar of your target audience? Who will benefit the most from your niche? Like, who would benefit from your content you're writing? Again, we use the example of lawn care because before you started using that example. Who would benefit from having your blog, your content about yard care? Keep that in mind. Maybe even jot that down on a piece of paper as we're going through this. Who's your target demographics? Where they have a certain age range, they have certain professions, determine what their income is, get an idea of what gender defines your audience, your target audience, what demographics you're going to be targeting. Get really personal. Get down to nitty-gritty of who they are. And the reason you want to do that is you'll get to the point where you're practically to the point where you feel like you're best friends with who your target audience is. To the point where Bren and I, when we've done this, we've actually gone ahead and given our avatar a name. In this case here, our avatar name is Scott, because he represents everything about our particular avatar, down to the age range, because the name is age, sort of a period-wise. First, if you think of the name Scott, it generates a particular age range, typical for that name. And you think about, okay, now you have down to even give you some examples. We even determine what they do on the weekends, what they do in evenings. They have kids, what kind of home they live in, what kind of neighborhood they're in, what kind of friends they have. Get down to that kind of detail to the point where you feel like when you're creating content, creating it and writing it to your avatar, to your target audience, that it feels like you're actually talking to your best friend. Become the leader in your niche. Start blogging regularly. Create that content. Brian and I, we blog very close to almost daily. Create all that content out there, because the more content you put out there, the higher likelihood you're going to be found. If someone asks a question and asks you a question, make sure that's great content on how to create a blog post. You can create a blog post just to answer that question. It's easy ways to come to the content. If you're learning new things about in your industry, create a blog post. There should never be an end to the amount of content you can create for your blog, because there's always people ask questions, things you learn, product comparisons. There's tons of things you can do to create content and come up with some ideas. And the thing is, always keep on learning. Learn more about your industry, of whatever niche you're in. Become the expert. Keep on learning continually. And people will look up to you for a source for that particular content. And then start building traffic. Blog every day, like we suggest. Or nearly, if you can't blog every day, blog regularly. Even if you can do once a week, create that content on a regular basis. Be mindful to your readers and provide real content. Don't just create bogus stuff. Make stuff that's actually entertaining or has information that they're actually going to want. Get the word out. Start sharing your content on social media. Get links to your content. Tell your friends. Start developing an email list and start emailing your links to your blog post out to that email list. Learn some search engine optimization. Build some organic traffic. And we're going to cover those again more in later videos, so stay tuned for those. And there's even paid traffic. You can actually pay like pay-per-click or that kind of thing where you actually start driving traffic to your blog by paying for it. Finally, refine your marketing. Keep your audience in mind and keep constantly tweaking. Focus your content, what you're doing, and get an idea as you start developing more and more idea of what your target audience is. You may even find that as you're writing, as you're creating this content over time, your target audience, you start refining your target audience. You get a better idea of who's actually interested in your content, and start tweaking that. And that'll start adjusting what your articles are, because as you learn more about your target audience, the more you can actually focus your content toward that target audience. Learn what the hot topics are in your niche. Okay, learn them, and basically start teaching them to your audience. Learn them well, apply them, because make sure you don't want to learn something and just talk about it. Apply what you learn, and then teach it. So, learn, do, teach. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to start talking more about search engine optimization and give you some more foundation principles on what search engine optimization is. And then later on, we're going to start actually applying this to real-world situations. Okay? Talk to you later.